Hello children, I am Mohammad Rizwan. Today we are going to learn about quadrilateral. We all know that quadrilaterals are four-sided closed figures. Every quadrilateral is given a special name depending on the properties specific to its shape. As they have four angles, these are also referred to as quadrangles. Trapezium and kite are also types of quadrilaterals with properties specific to their shapes. A parallelogram is also a quadrilateral like the other common quadrilateral rectangles and squares. In the chapter below, we will discuss the varying properties of trapezium, kite, parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, and square. After completion of this lesson, you will be able to know learning objectives, to understand types of quadrilateral, to understand the properties of different types of quadrilaterals. Keywords from this lesson: polygon, square, quadrilateral, angle, straight line, rhombus, rectangle, trapezium, kite. Properties. Trapezium and its properties. A trapezium or a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with a pair of parallel sides. A parallelogram may also be called a trapezoid as it has two parallel sides. The pair of parallel sides is called the base, while the non-parallel sides are called the legs of trapezoid. The line segment that connects the midpoints of the legs of a trapezoid is called the midsegment. Every trapezium shows the following properties. Angle. The sum of angles in a trapezoid, like other quadrilateral, is 360 degrees. So, in a trapezoid ABCD, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degrees. Two angles on the same side are supplementary. That is, the sum of the angles of two adjacent sides is equal to 180 degrees. Its diagonals bisect with each other. The length of the midsegment is equal to 1 by 2 the sum of the bases. In the above figure, the midsegment is equal to 1 by 2 of AB plus CD. In special cases of the isosceles trapezium, the legs of the trapezium are congruent with each other. This means that despite being non-parallel, the measurement of both legs is equal. Kite and its properties. Kite is also a quadrilateral as it has four sides. Being a special type of quadrilateral, it shows special characteristics and properties which are different from the other types of quadrilaterals. A kite is the combination of two isosceles triangles. Let's see how. In a kite, two adjoining sides are equal as shown in the figure. These sides are called distinct consecutive pairs of equal length. From the above discussion, we come to know about the following properties of a kite. Properties of kite. Two pairs of sides known as consecutive sides are equal in length. One pair of diagonally opposite angles is equal in measurement. These angles are said to be congruent with each other. The diagonals meet each other at 90 degrees. This means that they form a perpendicular bisection. From the above discussion, we can now differentiate the peculiar shapes of trapezium and kite. Parallelogram. Parallelogram, as the name suggests, has a close association with parallel lines. Yes, this four-sided closed figure has parallel lines. In short, it is a closed figure with four sides with each pair of opposite sides parallel to each other. In the figure above, all the shapes have parallel opposite sides. This means that all the closed figure shapes in the image above are parallelograms. Yes, a rectangle and square are also types of parallelograms which show properties peculiar to their names as well. Properties of a parallelogram. A parallelogram has four sides and four angles. Sometimes the sides and angles may be equal while sometimes they may be different. The difference in sides and angles gives the final shape a different name. For example, square, rectangle, rhombus, etc. The figure above is of a parallelogram PQRS. What do you notice? PQ and RS are on opposite sides and are parallel to each other. Another pair of opposite sides, PS and QR, are also parallel to each other. PQ and PS are adjacent sides, where PS starts when PQ ends. These adjacent sides when intersect with each other from adjacent angles. In the figure above, angle P is adjacent to angle S and angle Q is adjacent to angle R. Angle P is opposite to angle R and is equal in measurement. In a parallelogram, two adjacent angles are supplementary, while opposite angles are equal in measurement. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal in length. A parallelogram, if bisected by a diagonal, gives two triangles. In the figure, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Opposite angles. SQ is a common line segment adjoining the triangles. Therefore, using the ASA congruency, we can state that triangle PQS and triangle QRS are congruent to each other. Hence, from the above theory, we can say PQ is equal to RS and PS is equal to QR. The opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal in measurement. This property of a parallelogram is proved true using the ASA congruency condition in a parallelogram. When a parallelogram is divided into two triangles, we get to see that the angles across the common side, here the diagonal, are equal. This proves that the opposite angles in a parallelogram are also equal. The adjacent angles are supplementary. The diagonals of a parallelogram are not of equal length. They bisect with each other at the point of intersection with equal sides across the point of intersection. This can be proved using the ASA criterion as well. When we divide the parallelogram through two diagonals, we see that four triangles are formed. With the help of the ASA congruency criterion, we see that opposite triangles in a parallelogram are congruent with each other. Rhombus. A rhombus is a special case of a kite. A kite has an adjacent pair of sides equal in measurement. Unlike a kite, a rhombus is a quadrilateral with all sides of equal length. A rhombus can also be called a type of parallelogram because its sides are parallel to each other. Properties of rhombus. The sum of angles in a rhombus is 360 degrees. Opposite angles are equal to each other and adjacent angles are supplementary angles. Almost all the properties of rhombus are like a parallelogram. How is rhombus different then? The main point of difference is the diagonal of a rhombus. The diagonal of a rhombus bisects each other at 90 degrees. This means that the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other perpendicularly. In rhombus ABCD, sides AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. Angle O is equal to 90 degrees. OB is equal to OD and OC is equal to OA. Rectangle. A rectangle is a four-sided closed figure with each side making a right angle with another. A rectangle is also a parallelogram. The only difference lies in the angles constituting the figure. Like other parallelograms, opposite sides in a rectangle are parallel to each other. Its sides are generally called lengths and breadths. When we measure the pair of sides, we find that the parallel sides are equal in length as well. Since the angles in a rectangle are equal, a rectangle can be considered to be a parallelogram with equal angles. Square. In a rectangle, only the opposite sides are of equal length, but in a square, all sides share equal length. We may also put it as a rectangle with all equal sides. The diagonals in a square show the following properties. Properties of square. They bisect one another. The diagonals are of equal length. All the diagonals are perpendicular to one another. Summary of the lesson. A parallelogram may also be called a trapezoid as it has two parallel sides. The pair of parallel sides is called the base, while the non-parallel sides are called the legs of the trapezoid. The line segment that connects the midpoints of the legs of a trapezoid is called the mid-segment. A parallelogram, if bisected by a diagonal, gives two triangles. In a rectangle, the opposite sides are of equal length. In a square, all sides share an equal length. A kite has an adjacent pair of sides equal in measurement. Unlike a kite, a rhombus is a quadrilateral with all sides of equal length. Thank you for watching.